What is up, guys? I am Drew Martin. Welcome into Under the Radar, new show here on WagerTalk.com. At least for MLB, we were doing this during college basketball. Now we're transitioning here onto the diamond, guys. I specialize in college basketball, MLB, and college football. So looking to do this throughout the year, giving you under the radar trends and stats to help us in our betting endeavors, guys. Getting into it at the top of the show here. We're talking MLB totals. Of course, this season, big trend here towards the unders. You can see it here, 54% towards the under. That's year to date. That's a little bit out of whack, guys. Of course, 52.38%. Betting anything over that is profitable. So want to kind of get into what teams are really kind of bumping this towards the under and why it's really happening to help us from this point forward. It's always nice to get kind of past stats here, hey, the stock market went down. That's good. Why did it go down? And what's it going to do from this point forward? I'm bringing finance into it. That's kind of my background. But really, it's in sports betting, it's a lot of the same, guys, in terms of, hey, why is this happening? That's great. That's part of the handicap. But going from today forward, finding us more winners than losers is kind of the key to winning money in this industry. So first, I want to go over some of the teams where they're trending and then get into why it's happening. So got teams with the heaviest over trends. Got a couple of them here and some reasons off of the top of my mind in why it's happening. We have the Cincinnati Reds. Of course, this was one of the worst starts in MLB history. 3-19 was their start to the season. I believe that was the worst since like the late 80s. And of course, they're 66% towards the over. Why is that happening? Of course, bad pitching would be the first thing that would come off of the top of your mind. But 66%, that's almost 2-1 towards the over. Point towards their bullpen, awful bullpen. Going down the list here, Guardians, not great pitching either. They have gotten good hitting, surprising on the offensive end. Some guys really kind of that the market wasn't thinking would be this good offensively, really producing. So that's another reason for the Guardians, used to be called the Indians there in Cleveland. We get the Rockies. In terms of over trenders, sometimes Colorado can really just surprise towards the amount of runs they're able to score there a mile high. So it's not really too surprising to see the Rockies on this list. Plus the fact, really out the gate, they got into a tough division and they were winning a lot of games there. They've since fallen off, but they're a team I have circled that might be able to kind of find some ways to grab some winners with the Rocks. And then the Braves, call it a World Series hangover, not really sure, winning the World Series and then coming in this year under 500, 59% towards the over. Look, guys, you can look at all four of these teams. What do they have in common? They're kind of underperforming what we thought coming into this season from a win-loss standpoint, and that points towards pitching. That points towards bullpen. Sure enough, all four of these teams under 500 as we're doing the show today, and all four of these teams not profitable on the season, meaning if you were betting them each and every game so far this year, you have lost money on each one of them individually. Next one up, we got teams trending towards the under. This might actually be more important because so far this season, we have had an under trend of 54%. Now, this first one here, the Houston Astros, 70%. That's 7 out of 10 games finishing under the total. We're already, May 18th here, guys. So we're a pretty good portion into the season. What's that, 6 weeks? That's when we're recording today. We got the Tigers, 69%, kind of right on their heels in terms of hitting unders. Offense, for the Tigers not really being there. The Astros getting good pitching, especially at the back end. That's what I would point at them. Now, here's one interesting one. We're going to revisit this at the end of the show as well. The Baltimore Orioles, 67% towards the under, 2-1 towards the under. And this one, a structural change. They moved the fences back 26 and a half feet there at in Camden Yards and also raised it as well from 7 to 8 feet, 13 to 14 feet, talking about the fence. So just, structurally speaking, some of those balls, you watch baseball in terms of a fly ball landing on the warning track is now an out. And it used to be a home run in years past. So that's something I would point towards the Orioles and the market just not adapting to that quick enough. We also got the Red Sox, 64%. Of course, their offense just really has been underwhelming. We do have JD Martinez kind of heating up here with his on-base streak, I believe over 30 games now. So we'll see if they can turn it around. They're a tough team for me to kind of pinpoint here. But guys, here's the nuts and bolts of this video. Why is this happening? And going forward, are we going to be able to find some winners? Some points that I have in terms of why it's happening is there a different baseball in 2020? I don't think we can say for sure. Rob Manfred and company kind of, for whatever reason, like to keep that under the radar or under wraps, let's put it that way. And I really don't know why. Like, why not just admit it? It's kind of like things in life. Like, it would kind of be better for baseball if Rob Manfred just kind of came out and was like, hey, we are having a different baseball. Go back to the steroid era. Who are the guys we remember kind of using steroids? It's A-Rod, it's Rafael Palmeiro. It's the guys that were like, hey, I did not do steroids. Or A-Rod saying like, hey, my cousin, I'm not really sure what. Like, why do that? Just, use it like some of the guys that are like, hey, I did it. I shouldn't have done it. I'm sorry. We don't even remember those guys. But hey, Rob Manfred is choosing to do what he's wanting to do with the different baseballs. And hey, hopefully we can find reasons why. But I do think the baseball, it's just more drag because we're seeing hard hit rate and the ball just won't fly as far. I believe if it's the same hit rate and it's the same trajectory at like forget what the study was. It was like 105 miles per hour. It's actually landing 3 feet less. So I think that has something to do with it. Humidifier in more ballparks. Now, guys, this is the biggest one. This season, we have humidifier in all 30 ballparks. And that has to do with how much the ball is holding water and therefore how heavy it is, how far it's traveling. This is the real reason why I think there's more unders this season. But going forward, this is where I think we can find some more winners later this summer. Humidifier isn't always run suppression. It actually depends what the atmosphere is outside. Now, I'm not some sort of, meteorologist or, expert weatherman, but from what I've read, actually a humidifier suppresses runs and how far the ball will travel more so when it's cold and dry rather than when it warms up. So that's something I have in terms of maybe actually at some point this summer looking to bet more overs than unders, something to watch there. Park factors, we touched about it with the Baltimore Orioles, just a different, how far the fences move back, and that's factoring in as well. We got the weather. Is it colder? Some people pointing towards that, but I really don't think so. I haven't gone back and seen, average temperature at the start of each game. Is it higher? Is it lower? But do remember, we started a week later this season, so I doubt it's really colder. I would actually guess it's warmer. And then I put up pitcher skill level. Keep in mind, guys, this season with the rosters, they added 2 slots. So that would be 2 pitchers or two players most likely that would be in the minor leagues that are now in the major leagues. So put that over, 30 teams, and that's 60 guys. Would that factor in? I don't think so. I don't think so, at least as much as there was a shortened spring training due to, the lockout, whatever you want to call that. And I think that affected, for whatever reasons, guys being able to hit home runs and being able to get more runs across the plate. That's in my opinion, though. But anyway, guys, let me know below in the reply section any ideas you have in terms of why, hey, we're seeing more unders than overs so far this season. I got another stat here for you. Last 30 days, over-under trend. Overs at 47%. Unders at 53%. So it has moved a full percent, and even more so than that, the last week is exactly 50-50 in terms of percentage-wise. So we are starting to see that change to more overs than unders, or at least it being the same across the board and not that huge under trend. That's something to watch here, guys. But it's something to watch going forward in the next week, in the next 2 weeks, in the next month, to maybe not just kind of go through and bet all of these unders just straight out. So how do we use all of this going forward, guys? And one thing I've kind of pinpointed here is the Tampa Bay Rays at the Baltimore Orioles. We would think like AL East matchup, look to bet it over in years past. I don't know, guys. This Rays pitching, we know their bullpen. they'll throw out multiple arms that can get strikeouts and very good pitchers and good starters this season. We get Baltimore. They're pitching better than what we thought kind of preseason wise. And we get one of the points that we were talking about earlier in the show in terms of structural change at Camden Yards, moving the fence back 26.5 feet, moving it up as well. Guys, I'd look to bet all three of these games. We'll go on record, actually, not look to bet. We'll go off of the closing line here. Bet Tampa Bay Rays, Baltimore Orioles in their series this weekend on the under. Let's go with that. We like picks here on the WagerTalk YouTube channel. Got to throw them out. Just can't put out some information there. So let's go with the 3-game series. Now, granted, guys, I'm doing this on Wednesday, so can't give exactly what the numbers are going to be. We don't have the exact pitching matchups, but we will grade this off of the closing line. And guys, getting into the recap here, transparency is key. So far this season, now this is including college basketball, and actually this is only the second MLB show, and the last show, we kind of did that projection out in terms of plus 1.5 on the Mets, and they were never actually the underdog. So we didn't actually get our bet, what we placed like we are on the under, which we will get this time. So hopefully we'll go 2-1, if not 3-0. Hopefully not 0-3. But guys, I think we do have a little bit of an advantage here in terms of plus EV on this Rays and Baltimore Orioles towards the under. But you see it there. Nothing to brag about, but hey, over 500. We're giving it out for free on the YouTube channel, plus 0.7 units, $100 better up $70. So guys, that's going to do it for the show. Hopefully this helped you out in terms of just some trends you might not be noticing so far this season. And hey, it's not meaning bet unders going forward. I actually think at some point this year, it's going to be a smart bet to bet overs because of that humidifier issue when the weather heats up. But let me know below. Feel free to reply if you like the content. Hey, what kind of questions you have? We're kind of looking for ideas. What is riding under the radar? I'm going to continue to think about them. Keep doing shows out here. We're planning, me and Dan, the producer here, Dan Alexander, always doing a great job talking about different angles to talk about. Looking to do this kind of semi-monthly, 2 a month going forward. Hey, maybe even every week if you guys are wanting it, if the demand is out there. So please smash that like button. Let me know if you like the content below. And thanks for tuning in. Follow me on Twitter at DrewMartinBets. Check me out, WagerTalk.com, Drew Martin Experts page. Guys, thanks for tuning in. Cash those tickets.